Hey there, everyone. It's Mrs. D. I know it's been, I think like 3 months since my last update, but a lot has been going on. So for the end of the pregnancy, I ended up getting really, really sick for almost 2 weeks straight. I canceled almost all of my classes for 1 week and was quite exhausted the next week recovering from it, and then just really never fully recovered. So that was really hard, and then I had some blood pressure issues. My blood pressure was going up and down, and so they finally decided to induce me. And then I had the baby on January 17th. He's doing great. He did have to go under the lights for bilirubin, so we were in the hospital for a couple extra days. And honestly, it has been a lot harder adjusting to a newborn than I thought it was going to be. The last time I had babies, I was much younger. I had a lot more energy. I was able to schedule things pretty well. We're still working on getting on a schedule. So, sorry for any lapse in time. I haven't abandoned you. It's just a little bit harder to find time to do a video by myself. I tried to do it with him the other day and it came out really bad. So, here's take two on Saturday while other people are home to help out with the baby. He is sleeping right now, so hopefully that'll stay like that. So, all right, so this video update is going to be a little bit about my online journey as an online teacher because that's, what this channel is about. And I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to kind of look back over the last few years. So I started out with Q Kids, and there's like hundreds of videos of live Q Kids teaching if you scroll back through the videos. And that was amazing. Q Kids was really a great place to start. But those were really early hours, and Q Kids never gave full-time hours. So the extra income was nice, but I wanted a little bit more. So I started looking for other opportunities, and I did things like Amazing Talker, iTutor, Cambly. So Amazing Talker, you had to like be constantly glued to your phone because you would have to answer, like if you got a suggestion or matched up for a student, you had to answer right away because only 3 teachers were able to communicate with that student and the student would choose from them. So I never actually taught on Amazing Talker because it was a little bit difficult to be that attached to my phone. I also tried iTutor, which was described as somebody in the Facebook forums as going down the rabbit hole of Alice in Wonderland, and I kind of really liked that analogy, so I always used that, and it didn't pan out. And I did Cambly for quite some time, but in order to make any money on Cambly, you have to work a lot of hours, long hours. It's very, very low pay, and so I was going from Q Kids to Cambly, and I did fill my schedule, but I was talking like constantly until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was starting at like 5 o'clock in the morning and going until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning and going until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that just wasn't worth the pay, and my voice was suffering. So I cut that back, and then I found italki and Outschool. So I found italki and Outschool at the same time, and I tend to do a lot of research. That's how I ended up with Q Kids instead of some other ones. But I do a lot of research about these platforms that I'm going to try out. And I was looking at italki and Outschool. Outschool was intimidating because it was American, and there were so many like good qualified teachers on there, and they took 30%, where italki was still ESL, great hours because it was 24/7. They only took 15%, even though there wasn't a group option. So I was like, I put my profile up on both of them about the same time, but it was italki that really took off because actually, I think I signed up for italki a little bit earlier than Outschool, even though I had researched both of them at the same time, but I didn't actually get on the Outschool platform until like June or July, where italki I did, I think, like in March. And then that was right when everybody went into lockdown for COVID for 2020. And during that time, italki offered some online streaming free English tutoring classes, and I volunteered to do some for kids. And so that was actually how my italki career started. A few people had seen those live streams and booked classes, and then I kind of exploded from there. And italki was very, very good for me. And then, I started working on Outschool, and I like Outschool. Outschool has really great potential because you can make more money in less time if you fill your classes. But there's like on italki, I didn't have to do a lot of marketing. Kind of marketed the italki markets for you, and there's an algorithm which nobody really understands how the algorithm works, and that's on italki, and so I just kind of filled up on my own there. But with Outschool, it did seem like a little bit more work trying to promote in Facebook groups, which is mostly teachers, and so you kind of like it's weird. It's a double-edged sword because you're marketing to teachers essentially with a few parents mixed in there because teachers are the ones that use it the most, so it's going to pop up in their feeds so much more than it pops up in the parent feeds if you know how Facebook algorithm works, right? But Outschool was really going strong right before I had to stop teaching in order to, have a baby. So I was a little disappointed about that, but working on being content where God has me. And so right now for all Outschool, while I was out, I kind of didn't work January and really very much in February. Interestingly enough, though, I made some decent money in January because of some things that trickled over from December, from the end of December. And I did some flex classes and I had a couple of teacher approvals that paid out. So January did pretty well. And even in February, I've only done some flex classes and a couple of ongoing classes and a camp, a 4-day camp, and a tutoring session the other day. So I haven't actually been paid for the ongoing and the tutorial because those happened last week. And so I'm still up over a couple $100 for February without really doing much work at all. So that was interesting. Like if I had really been able to pick up flex classes, that would have been fantastic. But it all worked out because it was actually pretty hard to keep up with the flex classes while adjusting to having a newborn and trying to get enough sleep and everything else. So everything worked out just the way it should have, even though my financial my income is way lower. That's okay. So now what we're going to be looking at is how if someone decides to take a break for a couple of months, 2 months is about the time that I take a break. I'm really listing classes toward the end of March because I have some things coming up that are hindering me from listing more classes. So it'll be interesting to see how bouncing back is going to be because I'm definitely not going to have the time to devote into posting in Facebook groups and everything. So let's keep an eye out on how that goes. Right now I'm listing classes at 1 p.m. my time, 4 or 5 p.m. and a 7 o'clock like twice a week is this is my plan. I was going to list something at 11 o'clock, but 11 o'clock doesn't seem to pan out in our schedule with the baby. He's really not settled down by 11 o'clock and there's nobody home to help me at that time. Whereas 1 o'clock he's more apt to be napping. So I'm working in like spurts. Like I'm doing a 1 hour stretch at 1 o'clock and then a 1 hour stretch at 3 or 4 and then a 1 hour stretch at 7, only 2 nights a week. And my husband and I talked about that and that's not going to be fantastic income, but it's probably as long as I have 3 to 4 students in each class, it's gonna be quite helpful. And so we're gonna see how that goes. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. I also plan on having some more videos on how to get your classes listed for multi-day and flex. We did flex, so multi-day and what is the other one? I'm having a brain freeze right now, right? We have 5 different kinds of classes. They are ongoing. I already did. Flex, I already did. Multi-day. And I know we have groups. What am I missing, guys? What am I missing? I can't think of it right now. So, but anyway, I'll get that playlist completed as I can. And of course, tips and tricks coming up too. I already had some brainstorms, but then I was in baby fog brain and I forgot what that was. If you don't write it down, you forget it, right? So Outschool is pretty much where my focus is going to be right now. Unfortunately, I am not probably going to go back to teaching NQ kids because of of the early hours and the uncertainty there, I did get another 6-month contract, but again, because of the hours, we're probably not going to go back there. Love you, cute kids, but that door, I'm closing that door. With All School, again, the hours are still, they're starting to market towards the international market. They've always been international, but they started out marketing towards Asian students. So those have been early morning hours or late evening hours. So I am holding off on All School right now, who is going to start marketing to the US if they haven't already. But again, like I can't take on too much. And I listed some classes there, nobody bid on them. And so my schedule was pretty heavy at that time. So we'll see if All School continues to be an option for me. It's there, it's open, it's available, and I'll think about it. But Outschool has, I've already been getting some enrollments in classes, so I have a hopeful outlook for Outschool. All School will keep on the burner. italki, love italki. italki has been great for me as well, but I can't make quite as much money in as little bit of time. Like when you're looking at how you have to change your life. So I have to take care of this baby and I have a lot less time now. So where can I make the most money with the least amount of time? And that is Outschool, as long as the classes, fill up, because I can make, 30, 40, even 50 and up an hour on Outschool, but italki, I only can make 20, 21, 22 consistently. So that is the update for February 26th of 2022. So happy New Year, because I haven't seen anybody since last year. And continue to follow the channel, please. I do have things coming up. We might not be able to have as frequent videos, but I am still here, and I love all of you guys for supporting me and watching me and giving me likes and subscribing and sharing and everything else. So stay tuned for the next video. See you soon.